This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, the first 2 units of a new seniors housing development in Lawrence are inspected by potential residents. High-tech scanning for some sick kakapo chicks as an infectious disease threatens the population. And the grounding of the warbirds over Wanaka air show didn't stop one enthusiast from taking to the skies. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Hannah Wilkins. An open home walkthrough of new retirement units in Lawrence is sparking interest in the project. The Tuapeka Community Health Project features a series of independent living units, and those behind the community venture says there's been strong support.
2 new independent living units in Lawrence, an idea proving popular with southern elderly folk. The Tuapeka Community Health Project team gave interested people a walkthrough of their latest project over the weekend. Chairman Mark Hay is pleased with the progress of the 2-bedroom villas.
It's been very successful to date. We're really happy with the final result. I think they look fantastic and we've had great feedback from our community.
The idea of independent living units was raised about 6 years ago as a way of helping older residents continue to live locally while staying close to medical services. The first 2 units are already under contract, and Hayes says there's already interest in future units from both locals and those outside the area.
The model only works if these units are full. We are planning on building another 2 and possibly another 2 after that.
The project's received financial support from the Otago Community Trust and Trust's Community Foundation, which has helped to keep the cost of the villas to less than $300,000. The next 2 units are due to be finished by the middle of next year, with another 2 villas due to be built after that. Tuapeka Community Health is aiming to give priority to South Otago locals, but says it needs the units to remain full to keep the community building project going. In Lawrence, the South Today.
1 person is dead after a serious crash on Dunedin Southern Motorway on Monday night. The accident happened near the main South Road off-ramp, close to the Lookout Point fire station, just after 9 p.m. Police say the sole occupant of the vehicle was critically injured. Witnesses say emergency services performed CPR at the scene near an overturned white sedan. Police later confirmed the person had died at the scene. The road was closed for a period on Monday evening, with a scene examination carried out overnight. The crash took the nationwide Easter holiday road toll to 4, compared to 9 people who died on the country's roads last Easter. The health of 2 critically endangered kakapo chicks has been checked over at Mosgill's Invermay facility through a medical-grade CT scanner. The pair were the first to be scanned under a new partnership between Ag Research and the Wildlife Hospital.
The premium treatment for one of our critically endangered birds. This kakapo chick, the first of its kind to get the full once-over via the special CT scanner.
Yeah, so this will definitely be the first time that any kind of native animal, a native bird, has been scanned at the Ag Research facility, so it's pretty exciting for all parties.
A CT scan's a special kind of X-ray, producing highly detailed internal images of the body. This machine at Ag Research's Invermay facility in Mosgill is generally used for scanning animals closer to humans in size, like sheep or deer.
The type of animals that we normally scan are farm animals that we're evaluating for how much meat and fat they have to try and improve their genetics.
This small and fluffy kakapo chick is quite a different patient. There are only 197 kakapo adults alive today, along with 57 chicks born this season, making each bird very valuable.
We've never had animals that are this precious, come through the scanner, and so if it can be used to try and get some better outcomes for that program, then that's just absolutely fantastic.
Ag Research has partnered with the Wildlife Hospital to offer 5 free scans a year of sick or injured wildlife. The hospital works closely with DOC's Kakapo recovery program, with concerns currently about an outbreak of the disease aspergillosis among the population on Anchor Island.
So we're double checking to make sure that these chicks don't have any signs of a lung infection or any other underlying disease that could compromise their health.
And while kakapo are flightless parrots, they do need a bit of extra help to ensure they stay still while inside the CT scanner.
The chicks will be sedated when they go into the machine. We can't tell them to stay still like you would with a human, so we do need to make them a bit sleepy.
These kinds of diagnostic tools giving vets and DOC rangers more detailed information to assist with the care of some of our critical native species. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A boarding house tenant who died in a South Dunedin fire over the weekend is being remembered as a gentle soul. A neighbour says he felt the man had fallen through the cracks of the system. Fire and Emergency New Zealand says firefighters were notified of the blaze just after 10 on Saturday night. The fire is being treated as suspicious. Neighbours say the house was filled with people on the fringes of society and has been the subject of police visits. But its owner says the residents were looked after very well. 5 fire crews attended the late night incident. One neighbour described the deceased as a lost soul who needed some help but had a lovely nature. While the major Warbirds over Wanaka air show was again cancelled this Easter, one pilot who regularly flies at the event decided to stage his own aerobatics display. He flew a Trojan aircraft, a high-powered propeller plane from the 1950s, which is ideal for aerobatic stunts.
The Warbirds over Wanaka International Air Show may have been cancelled over Easter for a second time due to COVID-19 concerns, but that didn't stop Brent Emini. The Taranaki pilot decided to fly down anyway to catch up with friends and show off some aerobatic manoeuvres in his Trojan T-28. He says the high-powered plane was built in the 1950s to be a trainer for jet pilots.
So they've designed this aircraft, a high-powered aircraft with a similar sort of performance to the early jets, and it's got the same shaped windscreen and canopy and performance.
The Warbirds Air Show started in 1998 and is held every 2 years. It's grown into an event attracting more than 50,000 people to Wanaka over the Easter weekend. And while Emini is disappointed this year's Warbirds didn't get airborne, he's looking forward to the next show in 2024.
We had about 16 aircraft we'd arranged to come down to this show. So including the Catalina flying boat and the Yak aerobatic team, and it goes on and on. So yes, absolutely, we're looking forward to that, and it should be a huge show, being 6 years.
Warbirds over Wanaka is estimated to inject more than $40 million into the region's economy. In Wanaka, the South Today.
E whai Yakare, still to come on the South Today. Bagpipes sound off as the sun sets on another Easter in Uamaru. And 3 generations of a pioneering Central Otago family reunite.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life, Tuesdays, 7:30.
Hi there, guess who? Do you recognise the eyes? Oh, okay, it's a haircut. Anyway, it's Lindsay here from Campbell's Menswear. Our 3 stores are carrying on as usual. Despite what's happening in the world, we have got some great stock for you. Personally, I've spent 50 years in this business and we have some excellent supplier relationships. We've got great stock, it's hand-picked, it's here, it's on time, and it's ready for this great summer.
Campbell's Menswear, it fits.
So, as my favourite cut says, keep calm and carry on.
Every day the team at Gillian supports grieving families at their time of need. From answering your questions to organising a farewell that reflects the wishes of your loved one, we can help. Call Gillian's today.
Did you miss my mate John's Easter sale? Don't worry. Easter Rabbit repeats. The name's still terrible, but John sure knows how to run a sale. He's taken 30% off absolutely everything. Dunedin's biggest range of rock-bottom warehouse price furniture and beds is still a whole lot cheaper. Easter Rabbit repeats. Last weekend.
Where'd you get that furniture from? Stafford Street. And my mate John.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Hi, we're Age Concern Otago.
Age Concern Otago hosts a multitude of social activities, including interwalks.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Spark your joy with jazz, the next generation from Honda.
Tanakwe, welcome back. Bagpipers entertained hundreds of people in Oamaru last week with a sunset concert on Good Friday. The North Otago Highland Pipe Band performed a variety of traditional tunes, finishing with Amazing Grace as the sun went down.
Bagpipes skirled out under the setting sun in Oamaru on Easter Good Friday. For the second year in a row, the North Otago Highland Pipe Band gathered at Lookout Point to perform a variety of songs to an audience of about 500. The performance concluded with a rendition of Amazing Grace at the request of a former Oamaru man who now lives in the United States. The man, who grew up in the area, asked for the piece to be played as a tribute to his mother. While the lyrics of the song were written by former slaver turned clergyman John Newton, the music was not. Newton's lyrics of Amazing Grace have been set to about 20 different melodies, with the tune called New Britain by composer William Walker being the most popular and the one performed at Oamaru on Friday. The Pipe Band intend to make the Easter performance an annual event. In Oamaru, the South Today.
School families in Matoda have walked the streets of the town looking for clues for an Easter scavenger hunt. It was held as part of Easter celebrations, with those taking part having to solve clues to find the elusive eggs.
Why did these Matoda families cross the road? To hopefully find Easter eggs on the other side. The fun event was held for Matoda school families and organised by teachers Annabelle McPhail and Claire Connaughton.
Today we are having a big Easter hunt. We have got some Easter eggs that the kids have decorated at 6 locations around the town. They're going to take a colour by numbers sheet.
Using their sheets, she says they followed a series of clues for the next part of their journeys. The teachers were pleased with the turnout, with many parents and children teaming up to compete as families.
And at each destination they'll colour some of their picture in, come back and get a wee Easter treat, and the family names are going into a basket so they can get into a prize draw for some more Easter goodies. Wooden
Easter eggs decorated by the pupils were also at each station, with local businesses helping make the festive event a success. In Gore, the South Today.
Three generations of the Burley family reunited in Glenorchy over the holiday weekend. They're descendants of Harry Burley, one of the pioneers of Glenorchy, with the gathering holding a special significance for the family.
A reunion to remember. This reunion of three generations of the Burley family has been almost 40 years in the making. The happy gathering took place in Glenorchy over the Easter break. All are descendants of Harry Burley, who was a pioneer of the area. Harry's understood to be Glenorchy's first registered birth and the first man to summit Mount Earnslaw. Lindsay Burley, great-grandson of Harry, says that the lack of travel opportunities in recent years motivated the family to get together again.
I guess with the lack of travel last couple of years, we were sort of dying to get on the plane and get the family together, and it just seemed just a good idea at the time. Where it's pretty hard in this pretty crazy modern world getting everybody's diaries together, but we picked a couple of dates about 3 months ago, and this weekend worked, so it's come together really well.
The family hasn't been all together since the funeral of Lindsay's mother in 1984. The Burley boys made the most of the reunion, spending Easter weekend together and catching up. Gerald Burley, the oldest living member of the family, says managing to get all of them together in one place is a remarkable achievement.
There wouldn't be many families for three generations like this. It's scattered around like we are, and then all come together. I think it's quite an amazing feat.
The Burley boys admit it could be one of their final reunions with all three generations together. But they enjoyed spending the long weekend as a group, reminiscing over their family's history and reacquainting themselves with the local area they feel connected to. In Glenorchy, the South Today.
Local surfers were among the winners at the South Island Championships held in Dunedin over the weekend. Large crowds took advantage of pleasant Dunedin autumn weather and decent surf, with some of the nation's surfers in town for the event at St Clair Beach. Dunedin's Luke Murphy claimed the men's over 40 title, followed closely by fellow Dunedin surfer Lyndon Fairburn, who finished in third. Murphy also took second place in the over 30 grade, being edged out by Buck Woods for the top of the podium. Alexis Owen and Tessa Gabbett both showed the future is bright for Dunedin on the waves, winning the under-14 boys and girls titles respectively. The four-day event featured 17 divisions, with more than 260 entries received from the surfing community. Whai Yakane, after the break on the South Today, Canterbury's wild weather was no match for the New Zealand Motorcycle Grand Prix, and more sun on the way for your patch of paradise. We'll check the outlook.
Drop when you
Livingwell Disability Resource Centre, a not-for-profit charitable organisation and your one-stop shop for information and resources to help you retain independence. We offer a wide range of assistive products from jar openers to mobility scooters and provide assessments for Total Mobility, the half-price taxi scheme. Come and see the friendly team. You'll find us on the corner of George and Bath Streets, ground floor of Burns House.
Did you miss Momac John's Easter sale? Don't worry. Easter Rabbit repeats. He's taken 30% off absolutely everything last weekend.
And my mate John.
MTF Finance can help you turn the key on your next vehicle with a loan made just for you. TCs and lending criteria apply.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Hi, my name's Matt and I'm the Dines Group CEO. Dines is a company that's focused on selling logistics solutions to its customers. We're passionate about selling efficiency and we've been selling efficiency for over 50 years now.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life. Tuesdays, 7:30.
Tēnā, welcome back. There was a lot of wind and rain at the New Zealand Motorcycle Grand Prix meeting at Ruapuna over the weekend. The competitors made the best of the conditions to ride for national GP titles.
It shone, it blew and it rained, giving an extra challenge for competitors at the New Zealand Motorcycle Grand Prix meeting held over Easter weekend at Ruapuna. Superbike Grand Prix race winner Alistair Hugenbosom of Templeton now holds both the New Zealand Formula 1 and Superbike Grand Prix titles. But he was just happy to be able to race after the National Superbike Point Series and International Racing Circuit were cancelled late last year.
I've been waiting to get this one for a wee while. There's sort of definitely less of the field there, some away for injuries and of course Damo and a few other guys overseas, but nevertheless it's still pretty good and there's some good talent out there.
He says the racing was pretty close to national levels despite the cold and damp conditions. And he's thankful for clubs across the country quickly organising races to allow riders to get some competitive track time during the summer racing season. Motorcycling Canterbury's president, Dennis Charlotte, says the club were pleased to have Grand Prix racing returning to its traditional home of Ruapuna.
Yeah, it's been absolutely awesome. We've been trying to run any races that we can because of the COVID situation and stuff like that. So we've just been, the club, our committee, they put a big effort to make sure we can make these these national events happen. You know, Grand Prix for the older classes, the Formula 1, Formula 2, and then this one here for the superbikes and 600s and all the modern classes.
And it wasn't just veterans out on the track. 2 11-year-olds were granted special dispensation to be able to race against older competitors at the GP meeting. In Christchurch, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. South Otago residents took a chance to look through the first 2 units of a new senior housing development in Lawrence. Some sick kakapo chicks have been getting some high-tech scans at Mosgill's Invermay facility as a fungal disease threatens the population of the endangered birds. And the warbirds over Wanaka air show may have been grounded again by COVID-19, but that didn't stop one pilot from taking to the skies in a classic warplane over Easter weekend. And now we're going to take a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, and we welcome our Deputy Editor, Craig Page, what
Good
have you
evening.
got for us, Craig?
Thank you. Yes, some big news for Queenstown today. The government fast-tracking a new 315-lot housing development in Lake Hayes. Talking about creating up to 670 jobs with the development. It's called the Flint Park West development, and yeah, it was announced in a post-cabinet news today that it's part of this fast-tracking project that the government's brought in the wake of COVID. They announced 3 big projects today, and I think it's 50 they've announced in the last 15 months. So, big deal. Yeah, kind of aimed at boosting the economy, obviously, but also helping with that housing shortage. So. 670 people, I don't know whether they'll all live up there. So
that's any amount.
We'll let others think about that. For those who like pretty pictures, our photographer Stephen Jackery's up early this morning, as he likes to remind us often. Captured a beautiful photo of Otago Harbour and an orange sunrise, so that's well worth a look.
Stunning, yeah.
And some good news for travel agents finally as well. We've talked to some local agents and said that a huge boost in business in recent weeks, obviously on the back of COVID changes, but people are now looking overseas holiday destinations once again.
Right.
Apparently March was as busy as it was in March 2019. That's before we even knew what COVID was. So
wow. Okay.
So yeah, things looking up. It is looking up, and yeah, at the moment people are looking to travel to reconnect with family, but from sort of later in the year they're looking to head overseas for holidays. So Europe and Britain are the places to be. Be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And they're a bit grumpy down at the Highlanders at the moment. Lock Josh Dixon was handed a 3-week ban for a red card he received in the match against the Hurricanes for a high shot Saturday night. But interesting, Canes hooker Fasa Amoa has also been given a 3-week ban for a head knock as well. The Highlanders complained about that during the match, but the officials looked at it and didn't think there was anything in it. So let the game play on. This was late in the game, but the judiciary's now had a look at the game, had a look at the footage after it and decided it was nasty, and he should have been red carded, and they've given him 3 weeks. It would have been a penalty close to the sticks. We could have won that game. So no wonder they're growly.
Yeah, look, well, we look forward to reading about that and all those stories in the paper tomorrow. Thank you, Craig. And now we'll take a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Looking at the situation, warmer temperatures tomorrow as a northerly airflow wafts over the region ahead of a cold front in the Tasman Sea. This front will move over southern districts on Thursday, bringing rain and colder southwesterly airflow. Heading to the top of the South Island, a spot or two of rain in places. 19 tomorrow for Nelson, Greymouth also 19, and warmer with 22 and cloud for Ototahi Christchurch. To our southern towns now. In the Catlins is the pick of the bunch here, expecting freshening nor'westerlies, cloud increasing with 18 degrees, but have the umbrella on standby in Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore as the 18-degree highs will come with rain later in the day. Travelling westwards to the Central Lakes area, fresh northerlies and cloud increasing. Alexandra will be the warmest on 21. Queenstown and Wanaka a couple of degrees cooler on 19, while Te Anau trails on 16 degrees with a bit of rain. Looking at the northern towns next, and a warm day for Timaru. 21 tomorrow with light northerlies, while Oamaru gets moderate nor'easterlies and 23. Inland, Taizo and Omarama can expect fresh northerlies reaching 20 or 21 degrees. Down to Dunedin, some high cloud tonight with nor'easterly winds dropping to 11 degrees. Mild tomorrow with high cloud and northerly breezes reaching 20 and down to 15 with rain developing at night. Thursday looks overcast with northerlies before strong gusty southwesterlies hit later in the day. It'll still be warm with 18 dropping to 7. And to the deep south now in Invercargill, fine with cloud increasing tonight down to 12. Cloud tomorrow with late rain and nor'westerlies. Expect 17 as the high and down to 13. More rain on Thursday with strong southwesterlies, 13 the high and down to 5 degrees. And that's the news this Tuesday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. And you can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand. Nō reira, kia pai te po, ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.